Yeah, hey, what's going on there? My comments are for Felix, and you sent me a few emails, and I'm going to go through some of those right now. So let's see what's going on here. So, all right, so what you can do here, if possible, because as you can imagine, I'm pretty busy teaching over 100 students a month. If you could limit maybe 1 or 2 emails a week just for the next few weeks, just kind of give me a bit of a break, and then I can have a chance to talk to you and then everybody else. So when you send me an email, make it count. So put all the questions that you have in that particular email, and then I will take some time to answer you by video. All right, so one of them, it says here September 14th. You have I have a speaking topic you say is really hard for me. What cultural element do you think is the most difficult for a visitor to learn when coming to your country? Use specific details and examples to support your explanation. I'd probably say language, English, and maybe because of the grammar, and that's it. So then explain why the grammar part of English is difficult for visitors to learn. You can give an example perhaps of the verb tenses. You can talk about the difficulty of using prepositions in the language, or maybe learning the vocabulary or something. So that's probably how I would answer that question. All right, let's go to your next question here. It's titled Speaking, September 28th. It says $400 is for 6 months, right? Can you give me special price for only 3 months of usage? No, I can't do that. So I think I already told you about that. You probably make me very busy. Probably you're perhaps the busiest of all my students, which is good because I know you're going to get a high TOEFL score, but I cannot give any discounts at this point, especially for you because of how busy I am right now. Remember that fall quarter, Felix, I'm a professor at California State University, San Bernardino. I'm teaching 4 composition classes for the English department. I'm teaching 3 classes for the English language program on campus, and I'm teaching 100 students online from 60 different countries. All right, so no discounts. Okay, let's go to your next question. Looks like it's titled Speaking. You sent this on October 1st. It says, speaking problems again, please help me. You say, I have a stupid question you might have never seen before, but this is maybe important to me and all. What if I cough and sneeze during the speaking? For example, when I was talking for about 20 seconds, suddenly I sneezed, and that was really terrible. It made my speaking to be very, very bad. I would say that's kind of bad luck. I mean, really, hopefully that doesn't happen. But I would hope that the IBT human raters for the speaking, when you do sneeze or you cough, that they will take that into consideration and not hold that against you. They need to focus on your overall speaking proficiency, and they should take into account that when native speakers are talking, they cough and they sneeze and do all those things, right? You say, moreover, how do I deal with the crowds during the TOEFL speaking test? From my own experience, my test center usually has 15 to 20 people in one room that I take the TOEFL. During the speaking, the room was absolutely noisy. I couldn't even think and concentrate because everybody you want us to hear was speaking. It says, unlike my home, I can post speaking without too many noises, and you can hear my speaking clearly, right? I can hear you exactly. Your recordings are crystal clear. You say, I'm afraid the TOEFL examiners can't hear my voices due to the noises from the room. I'm also afraid that the noise will disrupt my mind. Can you help me? Yes. The strategy here is pretty simple because you're getting into a pretty important area, I think, of TOEFL speaking. You should be comfortable posting responses with noise in the background. So what does that mean? That means that when you're doing a TOEFL practice test, maybe in my course, you can turn the radio on, especially talk radio, where there's somebody talking in the background, and then you practice recording your response with that distraction. And turn it up pretty loud. Remember that if you talk directly into the microphone that you're using, it will pick up your voice over all of the background or distraction noises. So that would be exactly my strategy there, is maybe every other day record a practice test with audible distractions, even loud distractions, and make sure you try to concentrate even though you hear those distractions. Okay, so let's keep going. So your next question, it says here, speaking again, October 2nd. Okay, you said that you get 23 because you always repeat the same speaking question again and again because it's bad. You've been doing this for 2 months. It's just not quite comfortable for you right now. It's okay what you're doing, but eventually you have to record your practice test one time, right? Without doing it 2 or 3 times in a row if you want to get an accurate score. So part of this, Felix, is keep reading. Reading is absolutely important. It helps you develop better control of language use. Make sure you're speaking a lot on a regular basis. Keep posting speaking responses in my course, so the more exposure you get, the more natural your English will sound, and you will not have to practice 2 or 3 times before posting a response. So if you're patient, it might take 2 or 3 more months for you to get where you need to be, but you will get there. That's what you got to believe, right? Okay, let's go to your next email. Your next email is more of a writing type question, right? So it says compare and contrast essay writing. So you say, I want to ask you whether this method in comparing and contrasting writing works well in the TOEFL IBT exam. So you say, for instance, do you prefer to go to the mountains or the beach? Compare and contrast both types of vacation and give your preference from one of these vacations. So in your first paragraph, you say you want to get the reader's attention and state the purpose, which is to discuss the differences between vacationing in the mountains or at the beach. All right, to me that sounds good. You say second paragraph, you talk about vacationing in the mountains, the climate, types of activities, and the location. In your third paragraph, you talk about vacation at the beach, including, again, climate, the types of activities, and the location. Exactly. This is a very logical organization, no doubt. You will score very high using this organization. So in your fourth paragraph, you summarize your ideas and leave the reader with a good impression. Now, the only problem is your fourth paragraph. This is where your writing kind of goes off a cliff. Now, the question says, give your preferences for one of these vacations. In the fourth paragraph, Felix, that's where I would choose my own opinion. And in the second and the third paragraphs, you should objectively explain both types of vacation without taking a position. Again, the fourth paragraph is where you need to state your position on this particular writing task. All right? Okay, let's go to your next question. Okay, we have your last email here. It's called Listening to the Lecture. You say, how do I take notes if the lecturer says things that I don't know? You say, I don't know the spellings. I will point to the words in green color. You say, Pablo Picasso created his first cubism in 1907 called Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. So I think that instead of remembering that actual name, just say it's a form of painting or a picture. Or he did his first form of cubic art in 1907, so I wouldn't bother worrying about spelling that exactly. That's a French name with a French spelling. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. Just refer to it as Cuban art or Cuban paintings. That's your best strategy there. You say, I always make mistakes during the lecture because they're very hard to understand. Moreover, some lecturers even say other languages such as Spanish, French. Again, don't worry about those other languages. Just know that they're giving an example of something and what that example actually means. Alright, Felix? So, in this particular video, I went through several of your emails. I gave you some advice with both speaking, writing, and also with listening.